Are you looking for an easy opening to start a chess game? Did you hear about the London system but you play it the wrong way? All these things and more will be discussed and answered in this video, so watch all the way through of how not to play the London system. So d4, d5, bishop f4, let's say e6, e3, knight f6, knight f3, nothing is unusual here. So after this one, c5 is where we have a fork in the road that basically determines if you're a London system player or not. So let's say sometimes people play bishop takes b8 because they can. They can't take a piece because they can. They're playing checkers, not chess. And one thing is really overall, let's say guideline, not rule, is that you should not, pretty much in every case, trade an active piece, the bishop f4. We developed that for a not developed piece, not even moved piece on b8. B8 was not moved at all. Traded an active piece for a not mobile piece at all is really not worth your time. So if you do this check, because I want to trade pieces off because I can, then you get up in a lot of problems. You get knight e5, attacking the queen because you can. You can't play relying on just playing moves because you can, because things are getting into trouble. You can't castle here in kingside because queen b5 this allows you from castling because you can't castle through check. So if they do, also the pawn b2 is attacked, of course. So let's say if they do b3, then takes in d4, you can take back with a pawn and rook c8, and this is ugly. Black is really dominating and white is in trouble. So this is not how to play the London system at all. So if you go back here with a fork in the road breaking point after c5, the other way that you cannot play is if you go c4, they're taking d4, you're taking d4 back, they do bishop b4 check, knight c3, they castle, queen e3 is not where the queen belongs at all. The purpose is for white, in their minds, that's really flawed. They want to castle queenside. So pretty much in the London system, white does not castle on the queenside, especially if they go c4. That basically says, no, I'm not going to castle queenside. I'm not intending to that. I want us to control the center with a c4 pawn. And this is not the way to do it. So if the bishop b7, they do knight a5. They want to be, let's say, forward thinking, but then after queen e7, a3, saying that I want to trade things because you want to trade the bishop off and have the bishop pair, and this is really bad. You see, right now we have black have this amazing, really strong, powerful light square bishop, whereas this bishop on f1 cannot move. They can really move, but they don't want to because this pawn g2 will be gobbled up, and we're going to be having really big headaches. They're really clever trying to do this almost file with g file, but then bishop e4 is really dynamic and really cutting, slicing, and dicing through key squares, and white is having, again, really big troubles. Now let's take a moment to talk about when you play the London system, you're probably a player that doesn't want to do any tactics, be sharp tactical mind, and looking for tactics in the early opening of London system. Just turn off your brain of tactics and just play the game mindlessly. So let's see maybe a bad result of that lack of tactical vision. So d4 and f6, bishop f4, c6, e3, g5. You take the pawn because, oh, free candy. Then queen a5 check. c3 blocks, and queen takes g5, losing a piece outright. This is a wake-up call that if you know that you play the London system, it's so easy, but then you don't need, well, you should not have any moment where you turn off your brain completely and have a piece go off the board for your side. So now, if there's any one single variation in the London system that destroys beginning London system players that don't know how to play it properly, is c5 on move 2. d4 and f6, bishop f4, and now c5, the destroying move. Sometimes people wire in their brains that if they see c5 against them, they go c3 pretty much no matter what. The problem is that queen b6 happens. So they go b3 sometimes, and that's really bad because they take on d4, they take back with the pawn, knight c6, attacking d4 twice with the queen and knight, e3, e5, attacking with a e-pawn in the center, so they're just happy to take the pawn, but now check on b4. They had to defend against this check, so they go knight e2, but now knight e4. The game is busted for white. So a lot of people that are really in the, let's say, crowd of beginner London system players, it's like, oh, no problem, I'll play this every day. Knight gf3, I'm fine. And now, this is where the cruncher happens. The cruncher is g5. Gadzooks. They take on g5 or bishop g3. Either way is bad. They can take a g5, knight takes g5. The plan is to take an f3 and take a d2, and the game is squandered. It's really bad. So go back to g3. Instead, now black goes h5, trying to trap the bishop on g3. They go h3, now black goes g4. And white's saying, oh, what's the problem? We'll take a g4. They can't take back with the pawn because I'll take the rook. I'm happy. Really? t5 happens. The plan is to take on g4 with the bishop, take the knight in f3, and take on d2. And black is really crushing white. So going back to the, let's say, destroying move, c5, sometimes people go d5, which is more reasonable than c3. But now, people go d6, and then they mistakenly go c4. Not so bad because, well, they have to just respond to e5 properly. They're allowed to go e5 now. So if they take en passant, then bishop takes e6, and black's actually better. Black has an advantage, whereas white should have advantage or equal. Now black has an advantage, and white is miserable. More than miserable, they're losing the game. So this is not good for white, and this is an example of how c5 trips up a lot of London system players trying to just survive the opening, but now this is not acceptable how to play the London system. But to get more coverage of how to play the London system right, this next video I'll be linking will be showing you how to play the London system the right way, properly, and how to survive the opening and enjoy this easy to play opening. Hey, check this video out to make sure that you get more important information to bring your chess to the next level.